Hello, and welcome to episode 16 of the Old White Man Show. I call it the Old White Man Show because I'm old, I'm white, and I'm a man. My son does this every week with me, and he just asked me what I was going to talk about today. I said, I don't know. I never know what I'm going to talk about until I start talking, and then I start rabbling from the mouth. That's one of my great gifts as I learned how to speak. And talk. I was a had a real bad speech impediment, so for many years I didn't speak too much. And when I got over it, I started speaking, and I haven't shut up since. Last night I had the ability, the good fortune to be alive, and watch the presidential debate. And prior to the debate, I heard a lot of negative things about the person who was the news person who was in charge of asking the questions. In my opinion, the young lady did a pretty good job. I think she was fair on both accounts. I think she always asked the president and the vice president equal hard questions. I think she was very accommodating, and I will say take my hat off to her. She did a good job. I have nothing to say about her being biased one way or the other. Even though I heard on different news channels that she was biased, I don't think she was. I think she did a good job. I also think that President Trump did a good job. I think he won the debate. Uh, Biden, he's still relying on his 47 years of do nothing, but he's going to get everything done if he gets elected. But he's been saying that every time he runs for office, but he doesn't get nothing done. So it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. How many times can you believe this guy that he's going to do something? On the other hand, Trump, who, I might not personally like, he fulfilled his campaign promises to the, under being bombarded with different Russia hoaxes and impeachments and everything else from Stormy Daniels to whatever. He did basically what he said he was going to do. The guy's not a politician. He doesn't speak the way a politician speaks. If you notice, most politicians, they're lawyers. They get these law degrees. They go to learn how to talk fancy words. They learn how to lie using fancy words. And a lot of these people they don't tell the truth, but they know how to say it in a nice way to make you think they're saying something good about you. It's kind of like in Texas when we say, well, God bless your little heart. We're not really saying that God should bless your heart. We're just saying that you are pretty dumb. And that's just the way it is. You know, One of the things I talk about is a little bit about my history. Uh, the reason I talk about my history is that a lot of people who knows me knows I had a pretty wild life. When I got into real estate after serving in the military for 8 years and going to college and getting a degree in commercial real estate analysis, uh, my eyes was opened up to some of the business opportunities in the world. And I joined a gentleman named Mike Bowman, and my life changed drastically when I got into the Century 21 system. It was a good system to be in, and a lot of doors opened up to me. And twice within that system, I was number one in the world in selling units. And, I was always in the top 10 within, in the company and selling units in dollars. So we did pretty good. And, we learned a lot about people buying properties when it's a good time to buy. And I came up with the idea that buying investment properties, that you should always buy in a market that had upside going to it, a growth market. Dallas-Fort Worth has definitely been a growth market since I've lived here. I believe in buying a property cheaper than what I could build one for. So I didn't want to buy something that cost me more to replace it. I wanted to buy something that was cheaper than replacement. Therefore, I could rent it out at a cheaper level and have a better competitive edge over my competition. And then I wanted to buy something that had a positive cash flow. I wanted to return on my money. If I wanted to, make a 5% or 10% or higher return, I wanted to buy something that gave me that opportunity. And there was times when I was buying shopping centers that was 20% occupied on a 6%, 5% return. And I was getting a return on my money, but there was only 20% occupied. By the time they got to 100% occupied, I was earning 80%, 90%, 100% on my money. And that's on cash purchases. That's not cash on cash. That's my rate of return. We did very, very good. I bought a center in Arlington, a 50-something square foot, 1,000 square foot center on North Collins and Green Oaks. I called it St. Michael's, had a sign put up there saying St. Michael's, named after me, for $800,000. I mean, the center makes $800,000 a year. I bought another one in Bedford, a little 34,000 square foot one. I called it St. Michael's 2. We paid $700,000 for that, which included some pad sites. And, it made about $500,000 a year. Net profit. It's not a bad return on $700,000. We bought and sold literally thousands of properties and made tons of money in real estate. Now I'm going to tell you a thing right now that's getting ready to happen. Next year there's going to be a lot of opportunities pop up for people. When these opportunities pop up, make sure you can take advantage of them, but make sure you take advantage of them in a way that you're not going to lose. I'm not one for that. I don't believe in leverage when it comes down to buying real estate. I like to buy one for cash. Now, the ones I did buy in leverage in the past, they came out being home runs. But if I have cash, I like to put my cash to work. And there's a lot of opportunities coming up. Not in the residential market so much, because the residential market's so tight. We got so many people moving into our area. It's hard to find a property that you can buy cheap and flip. They're getting harder and harder to find. You can probably just buy a new house, rent it out for a couple of years, and not making a whole bunch of money on it, just in appreciation. But there's going to be deals available on small industrial buildings. There's going to be deals available on shopping centers. There's going to be a lot of deals available on office buildings. The market has changed due to this COVID-19. And you should position yourself in a position to get ready to take advantage of some of this. Or team up with somebody who knows what they're doing. But make sure you protect yourself. Talking about COVID-19, there was a report released by the CDC yesterday. And this guy that's supposed to be in charge of the CDC, whether he is or not, I don't know. Anyway, he said that 94% of all the COVID-19 deaths wasn't really caused by COVID-19. While they may have had COVID-19, there was other underlying factors that caused the death. He said 11,000 people was in hospice when they started, and they was all contributed to COVID-19. The problem that was made is that when they passed the bill, the legislation to pay for this COVID-19, they added in an extra 20% to doctors and hospitals that would use COVID-19 as the cause of death. So all of a sudden, you got a gunshot to the head, you died of COVID-19. You had a heart attack, you died of COVID-19. You had stage 4 cancer, you died of COVID-19. No matter what the reason, you ended up dying of COVID-19. So once again, we got to question how severe is this COVID-19. I'm an old person. I have diabetes. I have heart disease. I have high blood pressure. I have COPD. And 6 or 7 other things that, all facts that should say that, I'm a high risk person. I'm overweight. I got a lot of problems. I get up every day and I come to work, come to my office. I go out to restaurants to eat. I go to church. I go on vacations. I went to Mexico last month before last. I've been to Louisiana. I'm going to Oklahoma this weekend. I travel. I get out there and I do things. I wear a mask where I'm required to wear one. When I walk into the restaurant to my table, I got to wear a mask. Then I take it off and I eat. Then I put it back on and walk out to the door. When I go to the gym, which I do at least 3-4 times a week, I put on my mask, I walk in the door. Then we take it off and we exercise. Then you put it back on, you walk outside the door. Doesn't make much sense, but that's what they want us to do. If you want to have a good time, if you want to stay healthy and make sure you don't catch nothing, go to Walmart, bring yourself a lawn chair, sit down on the aisles and spend the day watching people, because you can't catch COVID-19 at Walmart. It's immune. Go to Home Depot, do the same thing. It's immune. You can't catch it going to Home Depot. Any of the big box stores you can go to. It's the mom and pops that they make close up. Kind of makes you wonder, don't it? Kind of makes you wonder what's really going on. I don't know. I know that I am not looking anything to find whatever life I have left. I'm going to make my own decisions. I'm going to do what I think is right. I'm old enough to make my decisions. I'm old enough to know the rest, and I take that responsibility on there. I'm gonna go to Oklahoma. I joke every day that I go vote every day. I'm gonna go to Oklahoma and vote now for a couple of days, see what happens up there. Man, as well vote wherever you can vote at, right? Vote for the candidate you want to vote for. And I also got rid of Dish TV. They raised my rates from $89 to $130 without warning. I called them up. They said, "Oh, well, we can lower it to $97." I said, "No, you're still raising it." And I said, "Just cancel the service. I don't need it." So now I'm becoming a streamer. I'm streaming. I can pick the channels I want, pay $5 a month for them, and not worry about it. So Dish, you and DirecTV and companies like yours, you're on your way out. The only thing I don't know is I haven't picked a station yet for LSU football tomorrow. And they're going to be playing a very good South Carolina team. Their chances of winning may be slim, but I'm going with LSU. They are the national champions. They had the best year ever in college football in 2019. The only year that you could even compare any other football team in the country would be the 2008 LSU Tigers. No, 1908 LSU Tigers, where they only had 6 points scored against them all year long. Where they went undefeated, but they wasn't ranked as national champions because they was from the South. And people in Yankee land did not believe people in the South could play football. Therefore, they wasn't considered for the national championship in 1908. Damn Yankees. But that being said, have a good week. Bye-bye.